Doesn't matter. Let's start. So for this piece, we chose the 1920s to start it, kind of pre-ish, during-ish World War I, so we could incorporate various aspects of the area, like outfit, political aspects, as well as general film styles, such as being able to film in black and white, but still including sound.
And we chose Belgium because what they had in peril was they were both a monarchy. Well, we don't know what type of monarchy Denmark was during that time. It was still a monarchy, and Belgium was a constitutional monarchy throughout World War I and II. So but it also didn't say how much power the king had in Denmark, so it worked that way.
And in the actual video, the queen is wearing a black kind of like sundress, which many dresses and like dresses were worn at that time for women, and hats were out of style for women at the time as well. The actual king that died, he is wearing a black shirt and black pants to match with the queen, who's also wearing black, to like symbolize their connection and stuff. Along with the black dress symbolizes like mourning for her husband who's died.
And we edited it in black and white to kind of give it kind of the old-timey feel, just of it being old and stuff.
Also, we incorporated, again, because it took place in the 1920s, we used it to incorporate the Schlieffen Plan that the Germans employed in the war, so that we have a reason for a neighboring country to enter Belgium, where our show was taking place, just like in the play.
And we also chose Belgium because in World War I, Belgium wanted to be neutral, similar to how Denmark wanted to avoid a war. So they had those in peril, which also led us to our decision of having Belgium, as well as the influence of French and Danish culture in Belgium, which also Larity is being influenced by France and his move into France. And while he wasn't there, we took that into a factor for our possible scenes, even though we actually didn't use Larity's trip to France. We still incorporated that because of the French influence.
That seems to be everything. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut
Right.
that in.
So for Act 1, Scene 5, we omitted the scene with Marcellus and, what's it named? Horatio, simply because they weren't really needed for that scene and they didn't really add anything to the plot, because all they really were talking about was they'll keep silent about the ghost.
Is that it?
No, I don't know. We only kept the part with the ghost and Hamlet talking because it's what gave Hamlet the motivation to go after his uncle, as well as telling us who the killer of his father was.
Interesting. Bro.
And that Evish, as well as his dad being killed by murder, not through a snake bite.
All right.
It's also the only part in that scene that revealed how Denmark has been manipulated by the people, and our clothing was more semi-formal simply because of Belgium. Belgian people wore fancy clothing during the 1910s usually, even though they were very poor, because they felt that fashion was like shows your social status. So better clothing meant like you were higher in the social ladder, so that's why we were dressing as we were. That, and we are basically the princes, kings, in their constitutional monarchy, so looking good is usually natural for a foreigner. That's why. Not foreigner, royalty.
One more thing, Kawhi. Can you hit me up with the fry?
Yeah, here. Where are you taking me? I demand answers.
Will you listen? For my time is short. I'm burning for my sins in the pits of hell. Do not pity me.
So in Act 2, Scene 2, it's the time where Rosencrantz and Guildenstern enter, and the king asks them to talk to Hamlet and find out why he's mad. And we included still the deceitfulness of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and their willingness to do anything for the king, no matter what, and just betray Hamlet, and the theme that they don't really acknowledge his feelings after anymore and stuff. And then we talk about Polonius frantically comes in, and he's out of breath, and in our video he's very frantic, and even in the novel, the king, Claudius, is always like, go on, because he's being very wordy, and we incorporated that still, about he's kind of like not getting to the point fully, and going like that. And later on, when the two guards come in, that would have been for Fortinbras, they to be asking Norway to ask, they are Norway asking Denmark if they can go through their land. We had that as a prequel for the Strifen plan that'd be coming up later, because in our era it's the 1920s in Belgium, and around that time it's after World War I and
Before.
I mean,
We will do as you command, my lord, and we do not need money or favors, for you can just command us to do so. But since you asked, we will do.
Let your services end. Thank you.
go visit my change son.
As you command.
I hope so. Hamlet worries me.
Sir, the ambassadors from Germany have returned.
You usually tell me good news. Let's hope this is good too.
It is. You have my loyalty, and so does God. Ooh, I know why Hamlet's mad.
Pray tell.
Ooh, I know, but the ambassadors are here right now, and you really should talk to them.
Bring them in.
You got it.
Did you hear? He may know this reason for our son's plight.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's our marriage and the fact that his father's dead that's bothering him, but
We shall find out. Welcome, my good friends. What have you heard from my great brother, Germany?
Germany has revoked the permission of Fortinbras, sir.
They want to bring their troops through Belgium to get to France.
Let's talk about this at a later date. Meanwhile, stay, rest. Later we shall feast. Welcome.
Alright. Well, in Act 3, Scene 3, we had three major plot points, which is Polonius talking about Hamlet going to the bedchamber, which leads to Polonius' death, the preparations for England, or in this case, America in our movie, and the prayer scene with the king and Hamlet deciding not to kill him. We omitted Polonius' scene because all he says is that Hamlet is going to his mother's bedchamber. He was kind of just a side character at that point in the story, so we decided to just omit him, even though he dies later on. But that wasn't the focus in that scene, so we didn't add him in. And we kept the preparations for England simply because Rosencrantz and Guildenstern at that point, what they're doing is they're showing the sides that they will do anything for the king to kiss up. So it's like deception, and like their friendship really doesn't mean much for sovereignty. So we kept that in, and we said America in this scene rather than England, because in England they weren't really involved at all with Denmark and Norway's conflict. Well, more in Denmark's conflict with Hamlet, as well as America in World War I wasn't really they weren't really involved in any of that anyways, but they gotten involved in it one way or another. It's kind of how England got involved. And for the prayer scene, when I was kneeling near Josh, it was simply because it was an aside, so he really couldn't hear me, and that when we had limited space, so I decided kneeling in front of the camera, explaining my motive would show that it was an aside and that no one else could hear me, and then backing off because Josh could not have known that I was there, because in the movie and in the scene, Hamlet would be nearby, but he wasn't actually next to the king, but he drew his weapon about to kill him. So that aside was there because we had limited space, as well as I needed to be near the camera. And we decided to put that aside there because it revealed Hamlet's tragic flaw of overthinking, which leads to him dying because he could have killed Claudius at any time. But since he didn't kill Claudius there, it caused Claudius to be able to kill him later on using Laertes. So we kept that in there because there's some continuity with our scenes. And that's basically what we did for Act 3, Scene 3.
Come over here. Rosencrantz, Guildenstern. Hamlet's madness is getting to be a bit much. Please, take him to America so that he may cool his head.
We'll go right now, just for you, my king.
We shall obey as you command, my lord. For if the king suffers, the people suffer.
Thank you. Please, make haste. Prepare now. My sins, they weigh heavy on me. I shall pray to the Lord, and hopefully he will forgive me. Heavenly Father.
The king, he is praying, and I can kill him now. But wait, he's trying to cleanse his sins. I must wait for another opportunity to present itself.
Amen. I've prayed and I've asked for forgiveness, but I fear as though my words have not made it. Act 4, Scene 2. In it, we have the king, new king, come and console his wife. This happens just after Gertrude, the queen, has confronted Hamlet, and Hamlet kills Polonius. She is distraught, and the king comes, sees her distraught, and tries to console her. During their conversation, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz enter the scene and immediately get sent out by the king to go and assist Hamlet in taking away Polonius's body. What is wrong? Please tell me, is it Hamlet?
It's Hamlet. He's mad.
What has he done?
He cried a rat, and then stabbed a good man.
Oh no. Had I been there, I too would be dead. Where is he now?
He's off to bury the body. He leaves with Polonius.
Let's figure out what to do with this matter. No excuses. Guildenstern, Rosencrantz. Hamlet has gone off to bury Polonius. He's helped him take the body to the church. Go. Quickly now.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Gather your wisest friends. We will settle this matter before the end of the night.
Is it our neglect that caused this?
I know not.
Alright, so Act 5, Scene 2. We got rid of the Act 5, Scene 1 because, like, it didn't really flow with the plot. It was just kind of Hamlet meeting the Gravedigger in Fortinbras and that kind of stuff. So we omitted that. So we did the second act, which is, like, arguably one of the most important ones. Now, the main thing that happens is, you know, Hamlet and Laertes get into a little fight, just a little one, and they kill each other in the end. Horatio tries to kill himself, Hamlet doesn't allow that, and then well, the king and the queen also die. So what we did was we made the fencing duel into a gun duel, and then like with that, like we can't really make it poison, but it's like the best we could do, like, you know, just for the purpose of this video. What else? With the duel, like after that, you know, the queen drinks, she dies. The king obviously tried to poison Hamlet, but with going along with that, the main thing that happens is everyone dies except Horatio, and Horatio is the only one to kind of tell the tale. That's it. Act 5, Scene 2.
I was mad, and I was insane. And it was not me. Let's get this over with. I'll make you look good.
3, 2, 1. Shoot!
I hit! Lucky shot. Alright. Come on, ladies. Round 2.
Three, 2, 1. Shoot!
Another hit. I'm very good at this.
Say go.
Go!
A drink to Hamlet.
No, wait.
I can handle my liquor. That's gonna taste right.
What has happened, my lord?
I am dying, Horatio.
Dying. Still a little poison left. Let me die with you.
Horatio! No. Give me that cup. You must tell the tale of Hamlet, and how you must justify the death of this family. Fortinbras is coming. And he's gonna become king. I need you to tell my tale.
I will, my lord.